So we're starting to record, and we're starting to stream.
How's it going, everybody?
Welcome
Happy Monday
to episode
19.
19.
Hey,
Are we streaming, bud?
We will be shortly.
dance together.
I'm just curious about that.
Oh yeah, we are live.
We are live. Okay, so join us. I hope you're already joining us. Nick's in a singing mood tonight. So just
Hey, 19, Steely Dan.
Oh, okay.
Celebrating our 19.
Did not get that at all.
It's a big day when she turns 19 for us.
Do tell.
Yeah, listen. The Office has been hosting podcasts for 20 weeks straight now. Because we did a non-live
That's
version.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
And so this beast is growing up. This thing's growing up.
On this channel, we now have a dedicated channel for podcasts. We are getting ready to launch a second podcast.
You guys like coffee? So do
Yellow
we.
Coffee. We're going to let that one go. I think Matt and Christina might be heading that one up. We will see how that turns out. Wish them all the best of luck. Wish them better luck than what we're doing.
Cheers.
Nobody laughed. That was like a...
Yeah, the Office Podcast Network.
So,
Kind
yeah.
of the thing.
So, why Rob's joking? Viewership, subscribe, like, comment. That goes for Twitch. That goes for YouTube. We're available on both. You can do it. It's right down there.
Alrighty, so let's get this episode started. We got tonight for my palate cleanser, I'm drinking the Ace Hazy Hop. We reviewed it last month, I think.
It's pretty tasty. I
yeah,
thought it was
that's
a
good
good
stuff.
cider answer to
Yeah.
the New England. Fog Cutter. She's back.
Another California.
In a can this
Ace from
time.
California.
Really aggressive can. This is a
Love it.
lot of fun for the season. I'm going to show you. It's like death riding a motorbike.
Lost Coast from California. And what do you got, bud?
I have the Ace Pumpkin Cider. So
We're all doing California stuff.
all California, a couple of ciders.
All
Is yours 8.7?
Tis the season to enjoy pumpkin stuff. I just ate a piece of pumpkin bread. I'm drinking a pumpkin cider.
Well,
I think I might go
I'm
buy
turning
a pumpkin.
into a pumpkin.
Oh,
If
yeah.
that's any,
After 10 o'clock, that's exactly what happens.
yeah. This opening schedule has Nick very pumpkin-esque
yeah.
in the evenings.
He has. Oh, hey, where'd this screw come from?
It fell from the sky.
All right, as long as it didn't come from my computer.
Listen, we
No,
like
no,
comments.
no,
That'd be a lot better than a
So-
bag full of screws.
So let's see. We're gonna get going with some beers. His is kind of tall.
Mine is probably not the one to start with. Unless you picked one equally not the one to start with.
Actually, it's really funny you say that because I grabbed a beer earlier and it was in a somewhat tall bottle, I thought, and I looked over at the table and I realized the beer you have in that bag is exactly the same height as that very unique bottle I chose.
Mm-hmm.
I put my first choice back. So I probably am going first because that was not a first choice beer.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Okay, yeah.
I'm looking over at the shelf.
I don't know, when people want to discuss with us about what order we have the beers in, I'm probably just going to tell you, Josh and I are just going to do a basic thing for the most part, is we're going to drink the light beer before the dark beer. That's pretty much how we're going to do that. By and large, Josh is going to pick a darker beer than Nick, but not always.
Light wine before dark wine.
All right, guys, we're back on Dogfish Head. Yell at us if we've done this before, but I think this is going to be a good idea. This is the Truth Serum.
Liquid truth serum.
Yeah. So this is a fantastically hopped ale. It's bursting with hops. In 1, the whole leaf hop, 2, the liquefied hop, and 3, the pelletized hop. Don't forget the powdered hop to finish it all up. So Josh will let you pour your sample.
That's a lot of hop.
It's a lot of hops. It's 4 different hop techniques. Commonly, a home brewer might use 1 to 2 of those techniques.
So, you want to explain the difference? Oh, I got pour mine.
Sure. You step up intensity.
No, we handed it to me to pour.
Each step they just talked about adds some intensity. You know, liquefied hops, I believe they're talking about getting down to the essential oils. You know, maybe they're not breaking down the oils from the actual hydrology of it.
Dad has told me of something called a sock hop.
Ha ha ha! You bring that up because you're wearing your dad's hat.
Yeah, oh, Dad, I found your hat.
So you said holy hops. What is that? What are we talking about there?
So all of these hops are added during the boil. It says here right on the can. And so that's something to think about here. 4 different hop additions. And so we read those hop additions, 4 different formulas. And so they're not even telling you which hops they're doing in each of those stages. Just the fact that they're doing 4 different types of hop infusings is pretty intense. IPAs are known for their whole leaf, whole cone hopping on top, dry hopping. That's something that gets done at the end of the boil. But they're also known for just dumping handfuls of hops in the boil, which we see with whole leaf. But then homebrewers made pelletized hops, very popular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great convenient way to keep and preserve a lot of hops in a small package. As well, they're perfectly formulated for like homebrewer size. So these guys are kind of giving a nod once again to the homebrewer style.
Oh yeah.
But then adding the powdered and the liquefied hops. I'm not sure those are things that average brewers come by, unless you're like pulverizing your own hops.
Powdered hops, no. You run across oils every now and then.
So the advantage with oils and liquid and powder, of course, is we can start heaving pounds and pounds of hops into a beverage.
So what you're telling me is this is going to be a very hoppy.
I believe I said the word hop like 9 times just now. So
I think I've heard it 90 times since you started.
Well, times 4.
Okay. No. Okay. All right. So liquid truth serum.
7 ABV.
It smells juicy.
So I've noticed over the last couple years that when it comes to IPAs,
it says it's without being deceptively bitter, juicy and unfiltered, just like Josh said.
when it comes to IPAs, for me, it seems like there gets to be a point on the hops where it tips over to that juicy category. It goes from being piney, where they add just so much to the point that it becomes juicy. You get that orange juice note on the nose. And yeah, instead of having the pine tree nose, you get an orange juice nose. To me, anyway.
So, to me, what you're describing is not even just the chemistry of the drink, but you're getting back to a true dialogue and interaction with this beer, where this beer is changing my taste buds. It's actually so bitter. Something is tasting so bitter, it's actually beginning to taste sour in a pleasant way.
Yeah, well, I get pineapple when I take a sip of this, man. Like a fresh.
I'm there with that. Some fresh pineapple, not your rotted, poured out package flick.
There's like some mallow to it too. Like a little creaminess.
I'll keep checking label here, see what it says anything about that. But I feel that in the body of the beer. And we're doing this big of hops, and it is a 7-pointer. So let's not ignore the fact that behind that it's going to be a serious wall of malt that we're just not even, no negative points boiling a malt for an hour and a half or whatever it takes to get to a 7-pointer.
Will say it's actually a lot lighter than a lot of IPAs out there.
Very light.
Color-wise, I mean,
almost blondish, huh?
Yeah, I mean, almost like domestic macro brew color. I mean, it's super pale.
But there's definitely some cloudiness to it.
So I don't really get a giant nose on this. Like, it's all on the palate. Almost just straight mid palate, a little front end, but.
Well, I've got some sinus issues going on right now, for allergies or whatever.
It's that time of year.
And I'm still getting some nice orange juice on the nose.
Okay, yeah, I'm not saying it's without a nose.
That's with the allergy thing going on and blocking up. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not a negative thing at
A
all.
little belch, a little 4-pointer there.
Out of.
Oh, yeah. I haven't burnt yet. It's coming, though.
Out of.
4 point, man, we'll say 6.1.
Just want to let me down, guys.
We don't like to predetermine our high-end outcomes, you know. Just kind of.
So I like this guy.
This is a really good beer.
I don't think I could drink it all night long. I think the ABV will get to me.
I'm a hop head, and I feel like I don't necessarily want a whole 6-pack, but I like one of these sprinkled in. It comes in a pint, and so it's also worth sharing at 7 point.
Mm-hmm.
Even a 3-way split seems like a great portion to enjoy.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all. I think this is a decent little beer.
Once again, I think Dogfish Head is throwing out a brewer's beer here. And maybe that's what draws me back in. Some fun artwork just about hops. It doesn't ignore the malts on the beer.
I
Like
do like
Josh
the
was
hops
saying.
diving in.
Yeah, it's like literally, it's like a Rice Krispies can or like Chips Ahoy or something. Like these guys are having some fun, man. And they almost look fruity, like don't they? Like they look like grapes or apples in the way that they're portrayed. Like the California raisins. You guys remember those guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is like the Delaware hops here. It's a little different soul funk, but
a little California raisin toy with like the pliable arms and everything.
yeah, I'll skip the
I
voices.
know that was a little
but
before your time. You're probably just watching that on a YouTube video or something.
What? No, I'm not.
I used to think they sang "Heard It Through the Grapevine." Little did I know it was them singing Marvin Gaye.
Oh yeah.
I think
This is just very pleasant. It's a good opener. Yeah.
It goes well with
Beer.
So
Yeah.
it's helping me fight down my dinner.
It goes well with Monday. It's a good way to start a Monday evening.
Yeah, it's helping me mellow out for sure. You know, I was kind of in a rush getting back here after work and finishing dinner. And as soon as I cracked this and sat down, it just reminded me what I was doing.
You know, it changed Nick's whole outlook as soon as he took a taste. Because
I was rushing around.
Yeah.
I'll admit, and I was being
And
salty.
it just
I
brought a
sat
smile
down,
to
I
his
grabbed a
face.
beer. Yeah, truly, it made me happy. I gotta be honest. This is a big part of the
I mean,
beer.
heck, he was singing.
That's right.
You better finish that now.
All right.
Oh,
So
that's what's coming up next.
just to make things a little crazy.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Yeah. So this is the Cones Polish Baltic Porter. This is coming in at 9%. So we're going heavy and thick
Opener.
compared to what we just did.
So, while Nick gets the opener out for Josh, we had last year, even the beginning of this year, we had the Combs Raspberry Porter, which was really good and really well received.
Mm-hmm.
And then we also had the Combs Imperial Russian Stout, which was really good as well. So I'm looking forward to this. The two beers that I've had from these guys so far, they're not bad at all. I'm waiting to see what we've got going on here.
You gotta love the bigger bottle too.
Yeah, that's the 16.9
Oh yeah.
Imperial pint bottle.
Yeah.
He wants to pour for you, but he can't. I'm not saying you have to chug, but chug.
Yeah. Excellent job there, Nick.
Good job, good job.
Actually, it's a amazingly good chugger. We were all sipping and enjoying it.
Well,
I
we'll
gotta
see.
tell you, there's no nasty off-put on
We'll
the
see
chug.
what the Belch effect is after.
Sometimes you get some hop kickback when you finish out that last little sipper, but I wasn't feeling it.
Woo! You want to talk about a nose on this thing?
Woo, yeah, that smells boozy. You got 9%
Boozy,
thick,
cocoa,
roasty kind of, almost not smoky, but kind of.
and don't take this the wrong way, but it smells like the inside of a shoe.
Shoe leather?
No, I'm not talking about the leather part.
Oh,
This has got a nose on it. Somehow it all works, but
a little bit of soy sauce too.
yes, big soy sauce. Big soy sauce.
These are all good things.
Well, except for the inside of my shoe. Of course, my shoes are flip-flops, so
at least it's not the inside of my shoe.
yeah, well, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Nick,
Yeah.
how you doing over there, buddy? You,
All right,
you
I-
still fighting with the Twitch?
I thought maybe I might get to chat on Twitch a little bit with y'all. I
Still,
don't know.
still fighting with it?
Yeah, I'm a little battle. with the
Technical difficulties, man.
Yeah,
Listen.
we'll get this put together one day.
Guys, we're still working on the whole formula. We're less interested in what we have to say as much as what you have to say
Well,
about what we have to say.
I like what we have to say.
Yes, but
I mean,
I'll be honest.
that's why I watch these over and over and over again.
I'm like a cat. I don't really watch those. I look at the comments and I'm like, what did they think about what I said? And everybody's like,
Oh,
I don't know.
Soy.
I didn't listen to
Lot
what he
of
said.
soy.
He could
Oh.
barely open his eyes, and
Lot of
there was
soy.
this weird alien light in his face.
Wow. Lot of
Stuff
soy.
like that.
Lot of soy.
That's really good.
A lot of soy.
There's a lot of intense flavors going on in that.
A lot of soy.
And then every once in a while, my host would be like, "Will you knock it off with that crap?"
Yeah, we're talking about soy here.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh.
I get a little bit of that soy on there. I kind of got right into the malt right away. I feel you on these like sour, these
Yeah.
umami's, these subtleties, these little bitters out before it. But there's a sweetness just
It'll
waiting
wake you
for it.
up. That'll wake you up right there.
Uh,
Or put you out.
All right, I gotta go back in for another one.
I feel like this would definitely not freeze right away if I left it out in the snow.
I don't think it would either. Wow, it's good. It's
All right, I like that.
whoo.
The hop. I mean, not the
Do you
hop.
guys
The
get
malt.
the smoky?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the malt there is cooked,
Yes.
and I think that's where the smoky's coming from. But I have to say that soy carrying through, the soy sauce carrying through into the palate,
It's really kind of nice.
it's different. I'm not used to it. I'm not against it.
It's better than Worcestershire.
Yeah. Isn't it anything better than Worcestershire?
No, I drink it.
Oh, okay. You're strange. So, I'm not opposed to that soy sauce. I mean, it's kind of like I have to have a little soy with my wasabi for my sushi, but it's almost like it has to be here in the beer. That didn't make any sense at all to anybody, did it?
Not really, but
I'd
what
like
rolls
to-
it?
I'd like just to, what I'm feeling here is just there's a cooked nature to this beer. It's been cooked. It's been prepared. These malts have been roasted. These
Yeah.
sugars are prepared and ready.
It would have been a good day for me to wear my Lucky Strike T-shirt, where it's toasted.
It's toasted. Yeah, that is Lucky Strike's thing. Toasted, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Those things smell like hell, by the way.
LSMFT.
Like, you are not cool smoking Lucky Strikes. You just smell really bad, you gutter punk.
Excuse me.
Hey.
That was a nice little 3.5.
A little ripper.
Oh, that followed up right with another
Is
3.5.
that the port? Is that the Baltic talking right
Oh,
away?
yeah.
Because I took a sip and just
Yeah.
like unleashed a belt.
Cool thing about Baltic Porter versus regular porter, these are a lot stronger than your typical porter.
They're also quite bubbly.
Yeah, there's a lot of fermentation going on.
And small little bubbles. Yeah.
They're sweeter. They tend to be lighter in color than stouts and everything, but they do have that potent. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
the label's saying that this needs to be cellared
pretty much
for 18 months.
you'll get the peak flavor starting at 18 months, and then the flavor even continues to mature. However, there is a peak maturity, I think they described, right? Or
So-
it's kind of about what flavor profile you most desire. So explain what happens as you sell
So,
this.
this was cellared. What?
Beer bottle dates are weird.
That's the lot number.
Well, it's Europe,
Well, they use the
Oh, that's
Julian.
lot
They use the
number.
Julian dating, by the way.
but
All right, so that's
it's possible
the lot number. So
lot
that's
number
not the,
could
not-
include
not
the date and then just a place.
Unless that's 110, and then the 29 is the lot number. I don't know. Anyway,
It could be 29th of October.
that we're not at the 29th of October.
I mean, maybe it's some Back to the Future kind of stuff.
Well, that's true. We'll have to do some research on that. That's your job, Josh.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
Yeah. It's your beer, your job. You get to figure out the So, it says when Combs is stored for 18 months, the beer changes in taste. Now you can decide how long your Combs will mature. And then it's got some fresh and roasted, and it changes to dry and complex. I'm actually interested to see how this changes.
I think I have been ever since I saw that on the label. I've also understood that's part of the deal with the Baltic Porter, kind of what Josh was getting into, is it is actually a cellar beer, whereas an English Porter is a drink now.
Oh yeah. No, these were made to survive transit. It's the same story with like the Russian stouts. Higher ABV, heavier hops, heavier.
What do you think of the cellar temps?
I was just looking at that too. They're recommending cellaring between 50 and 53.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
5.3
So
out of
less than a
7.4.
cave. So not just lagering, but cellaring.
Yep.
Man.
Huh. Very interesting. So that's the Combs Baltic Porter.
Also Polish.
Baltic Porter.
Poland does some really good dark beers. They'll do some really good not dark beers, but every dark beer I've had from Poland tends to be pretty good.
I'm betting that
I wanted
soy
to
goes
ask,
away in the age.
You know, now Josh, we mentioned these little bubbles, and you said, oh, a lot of fermentation, and then we're seeing the label suggesting cellaring. Are we to understand is there live culture here still in this beer?
I don't know that there's live culture in it.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that cellaring probably would be good for it because it'll give it the chance to kind of mature.
So it's more about these darker, richer sugars giving a chance to kind of mellow out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'm willing to bet that soy goes away as
The acidity.
it's either going to go away or it's going to get a lot more aggressive.
I wouldn't want it to get more aggressive.
No, I wouldn't either. But I think it probably would go away a little bit.
I think the acidity on the front end of these sugars, because you know, a malt, it's a really intense sugar. You start cooking it this long, they've actually split these sugars now. They've broken these disaccharides down into little monosaccharides that are held together with tight bonds of water.
This is where Josh and I start looking at Nick with the
Right, and you know, depending upon how you freeze or ferment or age this, those sugars will either start to form other H bonds as that water disappears, which happens in a wine cask, right? However, if you bottle this and no water is disappearing, the sugars will just start to reform in different shapes based on little like charges, minor charges as the H bonds wear away.
hexagons and pentagons and octagons.
Yeah, let's say like polar and non-polar shapes, just sort of rearranging themselves.
Circles and balls.
Yeah. Has a lot to do with, I think, the polarity of water, and water has a charge.
Well,
As
polarity
you
is
cellar,
Polish.
that water loses
Polar.
that charge. And then those tight bonds, again, will break those H bonds. And
I do
the
know
sugars
that,
will
that the enzymes that you get from the malting and everything really do help with breaking the sugars down. You got the nibblers who attack the ends of the chains, and you got the cutters who break those in half so the nibblers
This
eat
is
it.
great. Nibblers and cutters. He's talking
Sounds
about ribose chain right now, guys.
Pac-Man and
Pac-Man and Robin, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we chased out all the ghosts when we're talking about the brewing at this point, and it's purely superheroes.
And this is what happens when you drink a 9% beer early on a Monday.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, who's opening tomorrow?
The allergy medicine might have something to do with it too.
Take a couple of Benadryls and drink a 9%er, you're golden.
Ooh, excuse me.
Well,
I was instructed
since
to.
I took my shoe off, my foot feels a lot better, guys.
Yeah, but my nose isn't any better.
It's a burpee beer.
Oh, sorry about that.
I was instructed to drink as little as possible because of the medicine. I don't think that's happening. Oh, speaking of which, Cookout is the weekend of November 3rd.
Is that
We
open
talked
invite to the
about this
internet?
before. If you can find out where it's at,
If you're smart.
you guys can bring dates. I'm gonna bring mine.
How many?
The more the merrier.
Nice.
How many dates? Oh, wow.
If he thinks he's that lucky, I'm good. All right, guys.
No, I meant how many were you bringing?
I'm only bringing mine. So,
It's rather unspecific.
Tonight's wine. This is a different one. This is a strange one. This is actually the first time I've had this. Not this varietal. The varietal we've all had. We've all had Pinot Noir. I said Pinot Noir. Look at the color of that. That is a white Pinot Noir.
Blowing my mind, Rob.
From where? Willamette, damn it.
Willamette, damn it. You got it.
This is Left Coast White Pinot Noir, 2018. So it's a young wine. But here's what happens. So, as those of us in this room know, all grape juice is clear. It picks up its color from seeds, stems, skins, and what it's stored in.
So wait, all grapes are juice, but not all of the grape is juice?
Correct. So, red wine gets its color from the fact that they leave.
Ooh, that's an interesting.
They leave the skins and seeds and stems in the vat with the juice.
This doesn't
to
even have
impart
a
its
blush color. So like this is.
This was pressed, and the skins never touched the juice after it was pressed. The color, the only color it's picking up is it was 6 months in oak, but oak staves. So it was a steel barrel, steel cask, and then oak staves. So we're getting just a slight coloration, not quite green, but
That's
shifting towards the not the brown, but the beige type. And
I get
this
the
is
greeniness. I do see this little tint of green, but this guy's. I'm trying to. This stuff looks clear. This looks like if you bought a bottle of like. I hate mentioning like actual. Rob already said grape. If you bought white grape juice on the shelf.
Yep.
And put it next to this.
you wouldn't be able to tell.
Like careful kids, that's the mommy's juice.
So the nose on this was what really got me the first time I tried this. This does not smell like your classic red Pinot Noir.
Absolutely not.
Your red Pinot Noir is going to have that bright fruit.
It has some characteristics that remind me of white wine, but there are just some different things about it that give me hints of red wine.
I do get a good bit of floral.
Oh yeah.
When I say fruit, though, I smell grapes. I don't smell limes. I don't smell wines.
If I get any fruit off of this, I'm thinking more peach or nectarine,
Okay.
and just a slight
Blossom, though.
Just
I'm with
slight
I'm with Josh.
pineapple.
The floral is very blossomy. Okay, like the day that big peach blossom blooms and you get your nose in there.
The palate definitely has oak on it,
That's an amazing mouthfeel.
Oh
That is,
wow!
but it doesn't have the oak where like a Chardonnay will grab that oak and hold on to it and give it a malolactic. I don't get any malolactic going on with this at all. I just get a little bit of the vanilla from the oak, and then just great juice.
Yeah, this when you talk about this being a newer wine, this is very much like what my mind already has kind of preset on what is a new wine, what's going to be pleasing about a new wine. Just these new flavors, a very young, juicy, fruity flavor.
The acid is perfect on this too. It's like just enough. It's not aggressive.
It's not going to roll over any dish you serve. You could serve this.
Here's
any.
one thing though. Think about this after you take that sip and swallow. Do you get tannins?
I'm not really
A
getting
little bit.
stuck on tannins.
I get a light tannic kind.
I'm getting a coat of tannins on my tongue. Not like.
You think it's your tongue though, or because I feel like it's more like it's around on the mouth, like my palate, my
I
actual.
feel like there's like a little bit of a tannic bite to it, just from I guess the brief this time where they crush the grapes. I don't know. There's like a little bit, but not a whole lot.
Just not very rindy. It's very like luscious part of the fruit.
But the fact that I'm getting any tannic structure at all for a white is what.
Well, that's.
I mean, it's not to be confused with the acid of a white.
Yeah, Well, I was, Josh and I served a lot of wine to sort of what we called the everyday average Joe didn't even know they were going to be drinking wine today. And a lot of them would say something like, it's early in the day, and I don't do well with the tannins, give me a white wine. And Josh and I were always quick to say, look, that Chardonnay has just as much tannin as that Merlot. It's just not visual the same way. It's really there. And that's because that tannin is coming from the carpel, the outside part of that fruit, the skin. That's really where the tannin is. Tannins come from the woody structures, the stems, the skins, the seeds.
Yeah, but generally on white wines, they pull those
Right, and
a lot
especially
sooner than what you're getting.
Sure, but white wines are not totally pulled from must, and they're not always. It doesn't necessarily mean that. In this
That's
case,
true.
it actually absolutely does, right? We're talking about a wine that's been almost like vertically dropped away from all those structures I just
That's
described.
actually literally what they do. They press it, the juice falls into a vat, everything else goes away.
Like nectar in a sieve.
Everything else goes away.
This is a really cool wine. I'm still wrapping my head
I
around it.
like it. To me, this is when people are really looking for, I want a lower tannin wine. Maybe Rob's onto something here that this is really what they're looking for. Not, just some random white wine. They want a red wine done white.
There's a slight bit of residual sugar there.
I could see myself putting a straw in this one.
This would be friendly over ice. I could see that. Slowing down a little bit and just throwing some ice in.
I'm trying to think of a food pairing.
I'm pretty sure Pacific Northwest salmon's going to taste pretty good.
I think so too. I think another thing that strikes me is going to be goat or sheep's cheese.
Yeah. I'm always down with that, but I'm with you again on that right there. This, strangely being new wine, I feel like there's this old world flavor to it. Almost like, hey, is this one of the versions of wine they drank in the old world?
I'm also thinking a wild mushroom soup.
Yeah, there's a certain gaminess that would play off this.
Mushrooms like that umami kind of sensation would go really well with this. I do believe that. That would.
The
That would be good,
earthiness
like-
would definitely help tie it down. The umami up front would be good. And it would just help kind of like create a bowl for that fruit.
And
Wild mushroom medley soup. Oh, that sounds good.
the other thing I
Is
I
Gruyere
mentioned way
good with
earlier,
mushrooms?
Gruyere is
sushi.
good with everything.
Sushi.
Sushi would be really good with this.
I think this is going to be great with your fish and rice, just like every which way. A little hair.
I'd have to say I'd probably lean towards the whiter fish for this one though, sushi wise.
Yeah.
Salmon would probably be fun. Tuna.
Your yellow.
I think
I
you're
like
right.
that yellow
I don't
fin
know that
cuts.
I would go for your pink tuna. I think your white was it Escalar or whatever it is.
The Escalar,
The yellow fin would be screaming.
halibut would be good.
Uh,
Mackerel would
I
be
guess-
good, but mackerel when it comes to sushi is an acquired taste because it's so oily.
Yeah.
But I think the oiliness of the mackerel would go really well with this. This would cut that a little bit. It'd be a cool flavor to check out.
I've seen some interesting ways of doing the span mac that help deal with the oiliness. Quick fries, stuff like that.
Bill's
You
Factory.
basically you tie down the
That
oil
has to
with
come. That
heavy
still has to
oils.
come from the.
It
Baltic
sounds
Border.
Yeah, that's not coming. That's still for the Baltic board. Yeah, so the Baltic board moved up 6.3 out of 7.2.
Yeah.
Residual burps.
Residual.
But also, getting back to, it has a blossomy taste, so it also, like Rob said, just some nice, fresh goat cheese chèvre over a arugula salad.
How about a bag
And
of
dye.
apple flowers?
Yeah. Edible flowers in there.
Something else that just hit me. Salted pecans or
Okay, and a
walnuts.
nuttiness would play off this. Very interesting. Very different than sort of the approaches we've been taking. We've been taking a wild, fresh take, whereas nuts give you that, like, just a whole different run on your palate.
So apparently this is kind of open to a lot of different flavors. However, a lot of them seem to be more earthy centric.
Yeah, you're gonna like some earth, some salt. That's what's gonna help tie this down, I think.
Pork tenderloin. I think if you did like a very herby kind of.
Pork tenderloin with the wild
Are we
mushroom.
gonna put the truffle, dark truffle?
How about a moral stuff pork tenderloin?
All right, that's
Well, we gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
Black truffle oil fries would go great with this, with
So-
like a nice little shaving of Parmesan.
So if I bring this wine to the cookout, that's gonna change my dish that I'm gonna be cooking. I don't know what you guys are doing, but anyway.
Same thing I always do, 7-layer dip.
I'll know when I get there.
Let me put it this way. You better have something else in your vehicle than a 7-layer dip.
Your college loan officer would prefer you not to show up with a 7-layer dip.
All right, guys. So let's review.
It's really 6-layer dip though, because I'm gonna forget to get one of the ingredients.
Yeah.
I just hate guacamole. I couldn't do it.
So let's review. We're going to start off again with the liquid truth serum from Dogfish Head. Just a FYI, $3.75 for the pint can.
2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. I'm going to give it, as an IPA goes, I'll give it a 2 thumbs up too.
Yeah,
I
it was
think
good
Nick
beer.
gave it 2.
Oh, I did.
Baltic Porter from Combs.
I'm gonna give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, I'm right there with it. This one, I'm going to give it a thumbs up too. I really want to see it age. I think I'm going to go and pull a couple off the shelf and put them back. And we'll discover them next year when we clean out
It's
the
got my
office.
thumb up. I was really curious to see just how the plain Baltic Porter came out. We saw the stout. We saw the raspberry
yeah.
porter. I definitely I'm glad to see a porter without the raspberry. You know that was nice, but that was like okay, Nick, just get back to the beer.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And so that I really enjoyed that. I think it's high drinkability, and then the cellaring prospect is really cool. And that's basically I'm going to reserve my other thumb to see if this
I
cellaring
agree.
thing is
Maybe
real.
maybe we'll come back to this next year and say, hey, this is the 2019 Combs, and it's cellared for X amount of months. We'll see how it goes. And last, the Left Coast White Pinot Noir from Willamette.
Yeah, that's
Double
cool.
thumbs up.
I'm giving it a
That's
double
cool.
thumbs up.
You guys got to try that.
I'm really excited. The Combs, just to hit it off, what was the price on that again?
That's
That's a little on the big side. It's $5.25. Worth it though, I think. Especially one thumbs up.
Especially to see how develops once you cellar it. Because anything you can buy that can cellar is worth a little bit of it.
This guy, not gonna lie to you, it is one of our, I won't say upper end, but it's in the $23 range. It's we do a lot of $10, $15, $18 stuff here. We're getting some good, better wines in the $20 price range.
But it is also a white Pinot Noir.
This is one you're not going to have every day. It is a white Pinot Noir. If you like it, or if you want to try it, come on in, get a bottle. We will probably carry this for a little while. Okay, so that was, I think we're about done. Episode 19. What are you drinking now? Here at the office.
Oh, absolutely.
And again, like, comment, subscribe.
We do have a completely separate YouTube channel. And
We just started a brand new YouTube channel, so everything coming out of the office on our
It's gonna
Twitch
be
feed
moved over
will
there.
be moved over there.
We meant to post on it last week, but we didn't because
We forgot to say this right here.
Yeah,
So we're telling you
because
right
we had
now,
that quick ending last
Oh,
week.
yeah, we were
YouTube
trying to.
That was funny. I
it's
had to do
gonna
it.
it's
That
moved, and we're gonna show you where it's moved. To.
So yeah, and then definitely doing the Twitch. We'd like to get you guys following us on Twitch because we'd love to comment with you during the show. If you want to come in, we film every Monday night starting around 7-ish. You can come in and watch and wave through the window and whatever. Anyway, that was episode 19. We'll see you later. You have a good week.
All right, take it easy, everybody.